This is the story of mean boys. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Casey. Casey grew up in China and only moved to the United States when he started high school, but both of his parents were American. On his first day at his new American high school, he thought everyone would speak Mandarin because he didn't know how geography worked. He also thought that the slightest speck of dust would infect him with Ebola and cause a world pandemic. So he was sure to wear a surgical mask at all times. He soon found out this made him super uncool, which basically meant he was banished to the weirdo group that was into Minecraft and My Little Pony. This actually worked out perfectly for Casey because he was a total brony. His friends in the weirdo group hatched a diabolical plan for Casey to infiltrate the cool group and exact revenge on them for being hot and douchey. The cool group was known as the Rubbers. The Rubbers were known for different reasons depending on who you asked. They themselves said they got the name because they got so much ass that they always had to carry around at least a half a dozen condoms. Almost everyone else said it was because they acted like they got a lot of ass, but the only real action they saw was when they rubbed one out themselves. And finally, there was a British exchange student who assumed it was because they burned through a lot of erasers. When Halloween came along, Casey finally had a pass to dress like a brony. And it was at a Halloween party that he met Lydia. When they were alone in the bathroom, Casey leaned in to kiss her, but she said, no, I'm saving my kissing virginity for marriage. How about you give me a quickie instead? So Lydia spread her legs and grabbed Casey by the hair and guided him down to her spasm chasm. The problem was that Casey wasn't used to drinking so much, and even though he was ethnically white, he somehow acquired intolerance for alcohol, so his face turned bright red just from a single drink. And then he did it. He puked all over poor Lydia's spam folder. And just then, Mike walked into the room. "It's not what it looks like," said Casey. Now, technically, this was true because it looked like he was licking baba ganoush off some roast beef. But Mike wasn't interested in technicalities. He got very mad. "What kind of man doesn't finish the job?" he said. "Lydia, mop yourself up with a baby wipe, and I'll take care of you." Casey was so shocked and embarrassed that he just left. But now he had a huge crush on Lydia, and he made it his mission to ruin Mike's life. So Casey took to 4chan and uploaded a bunch of photos that the Rubbers had sexted to people. Some of the photos he even photoshopped to make even look worse than they were. It wasn't long before the whole school was looking at the pictures, and everyone was called to the gym for a meeting. Casey decided he'd gone too far, and he fessed to the deed. He thought that he'd get a mild scolding, but he ended up in juvie as a registered sex offender for distributing kiddie porn because the Rubbers weren't 18 yet. Come back next week when my special guest, Rihanna, and I sing the Disney classic, Whistle Why You. Dwerp, 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 dwerp.
Then, just as the sun was setting, the piper let the beat drop. Immediately, all the rats in Hamlin were hypnotized. "Now!" shouted the piper to the coachman.